Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa says the $28.7 billion allocated to the agriculture sector this year will set the sector fully on the path of realizing all aspects of its productive capacity. According to Minister Mustafa, the sum allocated to the sector this year will ensure that the work done over the last 17 months serve as the jump-off point for the continued transformation of agriculture in Guyana.
And as Minister of Agriculture, I'm happy to say that we are getting these allocation, these large allocation. I can remember vividly in 2020, the first emergency budget, we have had $18.6 billion allocated to the sector at that time when the budget was passed almost at the end of the year, but we were able to expend that amount and do a lot of critical work to bring back the sector to some form of semblance and some form where the sector could have drive agri-production. In 2021, we have seen we have seen that 18.6 billion increased to 24.8 billion, and last year we would have done a lot of work in various parts of the country, in terms of enhancing D&I services, in terms of enhancing the livestock sector, the other crops production, and what we have done also last year, we have embarked on new crops, the non-traditional crops, corn and soya. We did a trial last year with a private group, a consortium, and that group with us, we have expended over $500 million last year to start a road at the Tacoma Savannah, and we have also purchased a silo which will be completed this year to set up there in terms of drying facility for the corn and soya plots that we started in the Tacoma Savannah. Last year we would have started 120 acres of soya and 5 acres of corn, and the result was very, very encouraging. And this year we'll continue to expand that, and we have seen this year a 16% increase in budgetary allocation, as you rightly said, from 24.8 billion to 28.7 billion. And as again, you could see the commitment of the PPP civic government in improving the agriculture sector. We recognize that agriculture is important for us to ensure that we develop it, because food security is very important.
According to the Agriculture Minister, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted food production across the world and provides an opportunity for Guyana to step up its production capabilities. He noted that Guyana's farmers have shown resilience in the face of not only the pandemic, but in the wake of the devastating floods of 2021, pointing out that the increased budgetary allocation for the sector will see the bolstering of the measures aimed at mitigating the impacts of natural and other shocks.
We have witnessed the result of the pandemic that has caused serious problems across the world, especially in some countries in the Caribbean, in CARICOM. And as a country that is producing most of its food, I think I am very happy to report that although we have suffered, the pandemic has caused serious problems for us in the agriculture sector, coupled with the devastating floods that we have experienced last year. I think that we have seen the resilience of the agriculture sector. If you look around, although we have seen an increase over the last few months in some increase in prices for vegetables and other commodities, I think that we haven't had any shortages in the agriculture, and this shows the kind of resilience for the agriculture sector. We are moving back once again to build up this sector, so that, as I said, that we can look to reduce or bring down the costs of the produce that have increased over the last few years. And this has came about because of some permanent crops that were damaged during the flood. And I think that the $5 billion, approximately $5 billion increase in the agriculture sector, I want to assure residents out there that we will see a more resilient sector. We will see a sector that will produce more food. We will see a sector that will enhance our country's ability to earn more revenue into different sector within the agriculture sector. For example, we'll see rice production increase this year. We will see money that was allocated to the Gaisuko sector will try to improve production of sugar this year. So all in all, the improvement in production this year, we will see that in the increased allocation in budgetary support to the agriculture sector.
The minister has also been spreading the good news of the measures contained in the national budget to residents and farmers in East Berbice, where he shared with residents news of the $100 million allocated to further the president's Youth Entrepreneurship and Innovation Project, which was launched recently.
Also in this year's budget, we have $100 million that is allocated for young people, the young group that the president has established a few weeks back to go into high-value crops. These high-value crops are like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. We'll do these in shade house, all shade houses across this country. We have already started that in Manripo, where we have a number of university graduates from the Guyana School of Agriculture, and other young people who are involved in, we are now building these shade houses. We have completed about 5, right, already. Eventually, we will build 300 of those shade houses across the country, where young people will start to cultivate these high-value crops. Last year, we would have imported into Guyana, with these 3 crops alone for the hotel industries and other places, $2.6 billion in cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. We can get the market right here.